Thank you all for coming. My name is John Holden, and I've been here in Raleigh for 6 months and a week. It's an honor and pleasure to have a role in this city and working with the people that helped pull this all together. And I want to thank you all for coming. Please give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you. This summit represents a renewal and new beginnings for us all working together across the Triangle region. An area when I first got here that was described as fiercely collaborative. And I believe it because look at what's happened in this room and in the hallway and today. Together with many of the regional leaders and collaborators, the chief information officers from around the region, we've organized this summit, the Connected Triangle Plus Summit, to do just that, to connect across the region, to find out how we can better use technologies to improve the lives of all our communities. And by the way, the plus means that the region doesn't really end, right? And from one jurisdiction to another, it doesn't end, whether it be city to city or county to county, or quite frankly, state to state. And I think you'll hear some of that at lunch today. So first of all, I want to thank our sponsors, our platinum sponsors, Dell and Intel, and Cisco and NFF. Thank you very much. Depends if you have a blue or white. We'll do a count later and see who won the battle of the lanyards. Our silver sponsors, Wake County, Duke Energy, and NC Idea. Thank you very much. Our bronze sponsors, North Carolina State University and Level Solutions Group. Thank you all. And thank you for everyone who got a booth. We sold out. And so very good turnout, and thank you very much. Again, this is a working event. It's a summit. We want to learn from each other and jot down notes. You'll be instructed on how to do that throughout the day. We want to hear your notes. We want to hear your ideas and plan how we might do projects across the Triangle that, again, use technology. Don't do them for just technology or data, but use the information and technology that is rapidly advancing our work for the betterment of all our communities. So, with that, it is my pleasure to introduce Mayor Mary Ann Baldwin to open up the summit. Thank you, Mayor.
Good morning, everybody. I always love opening this conference. It is, one of the things that I did early on was started something called Innovate Raleigh, and it really was about collaboration and bringing our community together to do innovative things. And I see some folks here who were instrumental in that effort, and I've been asked to first recognize some dignitaries. So here we go. Genevieve Garland, the Associate Chancellor for Research Operations at NC State. Troublemaker Mark Hoy, Vice Chancellor for Information Technology and CIO, NC State. I can say that because we kind of go back a little, and one of the things I love about Mark is we cause trouble together. Vivian Jones, Mayor of Wake Forest. Is Vivian here? Wait, come on, stand up, Vivian. Thanks for being here. TJ Colley, Mayor of Morrisville. He's probably stuck in traffic. And Steve Rao, Council Member from Morrisville. Steve? Okay, on behalf of the entire city of Raleigh, I want to thank all of you for being here today. There's a theme that you're going to hear constantly. It's all about being together. That's what this conference is all about. Being together, being at the forefront of innovation, technology, and the smart city movement. I'm really honored to welcome all of you to today's events. Somebody's talking in the background. I don't know if you heard that, but it just distracted me. So I'm going to end and see you all later. No, I'm kidding. You're probably hoping for that. So we are not here just for the sake of technology. We're really here to improve upon what we've started. And I'm going to say it again. Together, we can make the Connected Triangle the most connected region in the entire country. Maybe even the world. Yeah. By causing trouble, right, Mark? We are a place of inclusivity. We're a place for all. And I want to thank and welcome all of you and our sponsors and everybody who's making this happen. The summit is really designed to gather input from all of you and to act upon that input. As such, it pleases me to announce that we have signed and invite all of you to sign our new Memorandum of Understanding. It states that regional cooperation is crucial to the robust implementation of connected community initiatives, also called smart city initiatives, that often requires the coordination of different competencies, commitment to exercising the unique functions of each participant, and contribution of resources toward the common goal of integrating new technology into public life. We all seek to collaborate on a variety of regional smart technology projects, including but not limited to securing federal and private foundation grant funds, deployment of any variety of sensor devices or other Internet of Things. Mr. RIoT? Yes. And other technology projects. So together, again, the word together, we will learn and share our experiences, systems, and data for the betterment of all our communities across the Triangle and beyond. Our vision, simply put, is to nurture, foster, and develop actionable, sustainable projects for the betterment of all citizens across the Triangle. Heady stuff, but that's what we're all here to do today, together. Thank you, everyone, for having me.
All right, we're going to get down to some work here, but let me invite Tom Snyder, Executive Director of RIoT, up. And as he comes up, let me recognize some colleagues who really have helped make this happen. Heather McDougall, the Director of Office of Innovation and Strategy. Thank you, Heather. Mark Wittenberg, the Raleigh CIO. Thank you, Ralph. Many others from around the region that have sat in on some meetings and organized the panels. Thank you all so much to everyone, too many to name. And many volunteers, if you will, from city staff. In particular, too many to name, but I do want to acknowledge the help of Bill Motley, Beth Morris, and also Lauren Calatano from RIoT. Thank you very much, the three of you, and everyone who's putting this together. Again, I want to thank all the regional chief information officers or chief data officers and some of our sponsors who have been involved in the regional planning committee, as we called it. I can tell all of you that we are planning to meet in early December to take what we learned, what we hear from you today, and put things into action. And so I'm very excited for that. Again, we look forward to your input and involvement, and I'll turn it over to Tom, who will be doing the rest of the day. Thanks, Tom.
All right, thank you, John. Thank you, Mayor Baldwin. I'm Tom Snyder. I lead a local organization called RIoT, focused on technology-driven economic development. And there's an incredible intersection, in my view, between what we think of as smart communities, smart cities, and economic development. You know, communities that are deploying the latest technologies to make our communities more livable, more enjoyable, more efficient, more cost-effective with your taxpayer dollars, et cetera, tend to be the kinds of places that people want to live. And the places that people want to live tend to be the kind of places that businesses want to go because there's talent and The technology piece of it is largely being driven by public-private partnerships, through entrepreneurship. I see around the room here, I see a number of startups here, I see some investors in the room, a lot of public sector officials. There's really nice diversity of viewpoints, and as was described before, together is about bringing those diverse viewpoints together. And during the day today, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you all to engage. So I encourage folks today who are maybe new to the concept, obviously there's a lot to learn, meet some folks, get connected, but don't be afraid to participate as well. Don't be afraid to ask some questions. We're going to have opportunities during the day, both in the main room and in the breakouts to do some engagement. We're also going to do a little bit of digital participation from the audience, and you'll hear a little bit more about that later, but have your smartphones and devices ready so we can do some online Q&A, some online surveys and polls. As far as the day, in a moment, I'm going to have ask Jim Mills from Dell Technologies to come up and talk a little bit about kind of what's happening in the industry world, how we need to be forward thinking about kind of regional collaboration. We've had this term smart city for a long time. That wasn't the inclusive term it needed to be. Smart community kind of is a more I'd say accepted term here, but we really now need to be thinking more about smart regions, smart states, just collaborating, sharing data, sharing best practices, not feeling like every single jurisdiction needs to do everything themselves. So today is about how do we collaborate within jurisdictions and across jurisdictions, how do we collaborate with the public and private partnerships, with the nonprofit communities, et cetera, and I encourage everybody to participate. In terms of the mechanics of the show, as I said, we'll have Jim's keynote here in a moment, and then we're going to have an opportunity for you to kind of select for yourselves one of two tracks during the day. We've got 2 breakout rooms. If everyone can stick with me here, breakout room A is track A, B is track B. Everybody got it? In breakout room A, the first discussions, there'll be 2 sessions in each room, and you don't need to if you choose A for the first session, you can go to B for the second. You don't have to stay in the room the whole time. But track A is going to focus on data sharing projects, data governance, like how do we kind of implement and manage and do the tech in the best ways with this idea of region in mind. So if you're interested in that space, that'll be what's happening in the first talk in A. First talk in B is going to be focused a lot more on digital equity. How do we make sure everyone is participating, everyone is included? That includes, workforce training and talent. It includes, resident inputs, et cetera. We've got great panels in each of those rooms. The second sessions in each of the rooms are actually going to have a similar theme, but a little bit different twist on them. Both of those are really going to be about breaking down jurisdictional boundaries. So how do we really act as smart regions? And in A, that focus is going to be more on the regional kind of collaboration and data sharing and those kinds of aspects. Session B in that area is going to be thinking a lot more focused specifically on sustainability and how do we create sustainable regions. After that, we'll come back here for lunch at noon, and there's going to be a great fireside chat, we're calling it, with folks looking at kind of a federal imperative. What are we looking at? If you think about regions at the largest scale, at least from a U.S. perspective, you think in terms of federal. What do we think about in terms of kind of the things that we're going to do grassroots and up? What are the things that are maybe going to be suggested or governed from the top down, and other perspectives from both federal and industry? So we've got Cisco is going to participate, NNF, 2 of our sponsors today, along with Department of Homeland Security. So that's the lunch session. And then after that, we're going to have fun. RIoT is going to operate a pitch competition with a number of startups that have developed solutions that focus on sustainability or on equity or on transportation or some of the other key focus areas that are in the region. But throughout the day, as I wrap up and get Jim up here, definitely stay focused on being participatory. When we come out of this, the MOU that Mayor Baldwin just mentioned, that memorandum of understanding is a commitment by a number of regions that have said, we're going to start working on some tactical things. we're going to pick some projects to start piloting together as a smart region, and then, try to hopefully move past that pilot stage to real scaling stage. I'll give a quick example. A number of years back, a number of folks in this room and others that are not here today started looking at how do we share stormwater data. When it rains in a high point in Cary, that water eventually may create a flood in Wilson or some other low-lying area that their government systems aren't necessarily talking together directly. Like, how do we share data and information and insights that allow us all to address public safety, to address public health, to address the various things that are important in our communities, and find ways to do that in a really smart way. That particular project ended up being selected by IDC, which is a big analyst organization, as the Smart Water Project of the Year in the United States in 2020. So we really have already demonstrated leadership in acting as a smart region. I think there's a true opportunity, as John mentioned, for us to be seen nationally as the leaders in deploying technology, working together for the betterment of all of our communities. And so I thank you all for being here today.